Now the question before us is 30 children were asked about the number of hours they watched TV programs in the previous week. The results were found as follows. That is, the 30 children were asked for how many hours they were watching the TV programs in the previous week. And in respect of all the children, the data has been given. That is, one child says that he watched TV program only for 1 hour. Another says I watched TV for 6 hours. Third says for 2 hours, and so on. Now make a grouped frequency distribution table for this data. That is in respect of this data. That is the number of hours TV programs were watched. We are to make grouped frequency table for this data, taking class width as 5 and one of the class intervals 5 to 10. So we will form the grouped frequency distribution table. Now we will have, for building the grouped frequency distribution table, we will have to find out the minimum number of hours the television was watched or the maximum number of hours. Now we will find the minimum number of hours. We find minimum number of hours as 1. Anything less than 1? No. And we find maximum number of hours as 6, 12, anything more than 12, 15, more than that 17. So the maximum numbers of hours are 17. So we will have to form the grouped frequency distribution table which covers the minimum number of hours as well as the high maximum number of hours. So we make frequency distribution table with class intervals as, here it is written as 5 to 10, but we are also to consider the minimum number of hours starting from 1. So we will start from, here the class width is written as 5. So we will start from 0 to 5. That is the difference between the maximum class, this point or this point is 5. Here the difference between any class interval is also 5. So 5 to 10, 10 to 15 and 15 to 20. We will form the frequency distribution table in which the class intervals are these 4. So we will write here the data which has been given to us is in respect of the number of hours. Number of hours TV watched, television watched. We will have to count the same. So we will form the column of tally. So next we will have to sum up the number of children, that is how many children watched the television for the particular class interval. So here it will be number of children, or we can count it as frequency. These are the 3 columns which we have formed in respect of the frequency number of hours TV watched, we have formed the class intervals as 0 to 5. That is for all the children who have watched the television for from 0 to up to 5. That is less than 5, but not 5. Next class interval is 5 to 10. So any child who has watched the television, so say for 5 hours, will fall in the class interval this range 5 to 10, and not in this. If we take the child which has watched television for 5 hours in the first class interval, then it will result into duplication, because 5 is written here and 5 is also written here. But as a matter of convention, we will take the entry of 5 in the second class interval. In the same way, if any child has watched television for 10 hours, it will be taken in this third class interval. Next is 15 to 20. So these are the 4 rows of the number of hours television was watched by the children. So this is the first child who has seen the television for 1 hour. It will fall here. Another has watched for 6 hours. It will be counted here. 2. It will be counted here. 3. It will be counted here. 5 hours. 5 hours will be counted here and not here as a matter of convention. 12. It will be counted here. 5. 8. 4. 8. 8 hours. When we are counting any data for the fifth time, we will use this line so that we need not to count the tally. 10, 3, 4, 12, 2, 8, 15. 15 will be counted here and not here, as already told, as a matter of convention. 1, 17, 6, 3, 2. As this is for the fifth time, we will use this line. 8, 5, 9, 6, 8, 7, 14, and 12. So now we will count the number of entries which fall in the particular class interval. So the number of children who watch television in between 0 to 5 hours, they are 5 plus 5, 10. The number of children who watch television for 5 to 10 hours, that is less 5 to less than 10 hours, are 13. 5 plus 5 plus 3. Another are who watched television from 10 to up to 15, that is less than 15, they are 5, and 15 to 20 are 2. We make the total of the same 23, 28 to 30. So the data has been given in respect of 30 children. So from this table, it is clear that we have accounted for all the children while preparing this frequency distribution table. So this is the grouped frequency distribution table which is before you. Now the next part of the question is, how many children have watched television for 15 or more hours a week? 15 or more hours a week. As I already told that when we are saying about 15, 15 will not be counted here. As a matter of convention, 15 is counted in the next, where it is the lower class limit. This is the upper class limit. So when we are talking about the particular class limit, we will take it as lower class limit. 15 is the lower class limit here. So all the entries where the television has been watched for 15 hours or more than that, it will be counted here. So the answer for us is 2 children. So we will write that 2 children have watched television for 15 or more hours a week. We hope we have been able to explain you this question regarding the viewing of TV programs by some children in the past week in a very simple language. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give star rating to our course.